We have very, very good news for you all tonight. Christina Lindberg is in the building.
Also, she's awesome.
That's very true. So my name is Josie Emba. I'm the director of genre programming here at the Alamo and the director of the American Genre Film Archive here in Austin. And I'm here tonight with...
Annie Choi. That's all you need to know.
I just want to take a second for all of us in this room to think about how special it is that we're all here tonight, because not only are we here to celebrate and appreciate one of the most important exploitation movies of our times, we're also here to celebrate a really incredible person whose independence and drive and strength allowed her to have probably enough in one lifetime to fill any one of our 7 lifetimes combined. A really amazing person. So we want you to know that, like, every single one of you that bought a ticket to be here tonight, how much it means to us to help celebrate this movie and celebrate Christina's career. It really means a lot. So thank you so much for making this such a great night. So that's all I want to say about that. So So when Annie and I met about almost 8 years ago, we started a flurry of exchanging movies with each other because we were so excited to, like, oh, you know this movie and I know this movie, like, what? Oh, it's so great and so much fun. And one of the first things that Annie said to me was, have you seen a movie called Made in Sweden? And I said, no. And you said,
what?
Yeah.
The movie is incredible. Has anyone seen Made in Sweden? Other than Christina? Well, thank you, and it's amazing. Go out and rent it.
Yeah, and so that started this incredible journey for me personally, and Annie was the person that introduced me to Christina Lindberg and her films, and from there I saw Made in Sweden, I saw Second Fury, and then I saw this movie, Thriller. And with each successive one, I was completely blown away by the movies, not only because of the movies themselves and, you know, the experience of watching them, but Christina herself and her performance and what she brought to the table in each one was really impressive and really left a mark.
Yeah, she's definitely an incredible actress, and you'll see this in this movie. How many people have seen this? Woo! Yeah, okay, good.
You've never seen it like this.
Yeah,
so that's exciting.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So, so we're here to watch a 4K restoration of Thriller tonight, which is really exciting. And just so everyone to give a heads up about what version of the movie, we're not seeing a movie with hardcore sex in it. We had the choice and option to see a restored version of that version or the restored version without that, and we chose without that. But this is still the longest version of the movie that anyone has ever seen. It's never been released in this form ever. So it's going to be really exciting to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and so I think you have some really great perspectives on this movie, more so than I would. And so I think you should talk maybe a little bit about that.
So this is an exploitation movie, which means you are going to see some exploitive elements. This means sexual violence. It means some uncomfortable scenes. But I think you guys are all here because you understand that. So thank you. And if you want to leave, that's totally fine. But I want to say something about exploitation in general as a woman and a feminist, as all you are, I'm sure, that, you know, enjoying an exploitation movie doesn't make you like a deviant, doesn't make you like a crazy person. You don't have to turn in your feminism card. It's like no different from listening to Ozzy, doesn't make you like a Satan worshiper. Unless maybe you are. And that's okay too. We accept all kinds. And we were talking about at dinner yesterday that how genre lovers all have this community where we kind of understand each other and understand each other's likes for certain types of movies that other people might be really offended by. Exploitation is designed to offend you. So if this movie offends you, good. It should offend you. I mean, it was literally designed to get under your skin and poke around and, you know, salt the wound a little bit and make you feel really awkward and uncomfortable. And it's our job, I think, as an audience to see beyond that, to see beyond this uncomfortable scene and start thinking about, like, you know, what about it? To me, at least, it makes me question, like, why I feel uncomfortable. You know, these movies, if movies are a reflection of how we are, what we value as a society, then, you know, what does this say about these movies? And I mean, this is what I love about watching this. Every single time I watch, especially a movie with Christina Lindberg, you get so much out of it that it goes beyond the exploitive elements and takes it somewhere else, especially with her performances. So that's something I invite you to think about. If not, you could also just enjoy it because it's a beautiful movie. You know, so this movie operates on so many different levels, and I feel like everyone can have a different take on it. I see this as a very, like, pro-woman movie, and which is weird because there is a lot of sexual violence in it. But I mean, maybe you'll see it that way too, and that's what I hope.
And if you don't, that's okay too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think at this point would be a great time to welcome our guest all the way from Sweden. Please give a huge round of applause for Christina Lindberg.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
This movie was made in 1972, and at that time I was 21 years old, and the movie got the censorship at that time got very, very upset, and the movie was banned twice and cut into small pieces. But I mean, the movie survived. So I hope you find something very interesting, and you have told a lot about this.
Yeah.
So I hope you will ask a lot of questions afterwards, of course.
Yeah, there'll be a Q&A
So,
after.
have a nice time.
Thank you.
The movie was so good, it can't wait. How you did it?
So as usual with all of our screenings, please no talking and no texting and no interruptions, especially tonight. That's respect the movie and respect Christina's presence here. So please, none of that. Please don't do anything to interrupt your neighbor's enjoyment of this movie. If you do any of that, you'll get a warning. If you do it again, we'll kick you out without a refund, and we do not want to do that. So please just play by the rules and have fun and enjoy it. And if anyone around you is interrupting your enjoyment of this movie, please write it down on a piece of paper and place it in a railing in front of you, and we'll take care of the problem. You guys got to give a huge round of applause for the wait staff here tonight at South Lamar. Because we all signed up to see this movie. They did not. So they're here and they're working really hard. So if you could tip them as much as you can, that would be much appreciated, and they would love you for that. And we already talked about the restoration. It looks beautiful. We're excited to watch it. But I think that's it. Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? All right, you guys ready to watch Thriller? Yeah. All right. And we'll be back for Q&A after the movie, so enjoy. Is she the coolest or what? Incredible.
Amazing with that movie.
Wow. Please give a huge round of applause for Christina Lindberg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, your life has been a huge adventure. You've done so much, from modeling to being a giant movie star the world over, to being a magazine mogul, to now being Sweden's foremost mushroom picker, expert on mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's very true today. And how did you get involved with Thriller?
With Thriller, well, it was like that you told right now, that I was, at first I was working as a photo model for a Swedish magazine, and then it went on to Penthouse and French Louis and so on. But I can't say I was so satisfied doing just this, but I got those movies also made in Sweden, for example. It was the first movie, and then I was still in school. But it was not, I didn't have so much money. I grew up rather, not poor, but I didn't have a lot of money. So when I got this offer, I was in school, I said, well, yeah, I think I do this. So I ran away from school for 2 weeks and made that movie, Made in Sweden. It was the first one. And after that, I graduated for some kind of high school. I was reading Latin and so on. And 2 days after I took my, exam, I took my little suitcase. I was born down in the south of Sweden and went up to Stockholm, to the big city to find the luck and more money, hopefully. Then I got the offer for doing more movies, and I thought I got a lot of movies taking off my clothes because they would love to see my body, and selling the movies, of course. And but I made so much. I made a lot of movies, but after a while, it was quite a. I tried to make something out of those movies, because I realized that wasn't, wasn't Shakespeare text, but I tried to make something, and people around me, they said, well, the only one that take this seriously is Christina Lindberg, and it was like this. But I also had the good thing, I played against very, very good actors in Sweden. It was actors from the national scene in Stockholm, most of them. So, but they didn't take off their clothes, it was of course. And when I had made, I think at least 10 of those movies, I got this offer from Thriller. And then I thought, well, this is something. I can make something out of this. The part was very interesting. Well, I didn't talk in the movie because Vibenius, the director, he thought I was not a very good actress. So he thought it was the best I was mute. But he gave me other things to act. He gave me karate lessons, weapon lessons, and he gave me this patch and this coat. So I got instruments to make a good part. What to say? Oh, it's much to say. He had made a movie before Thriller, a child movie. And it's a very strange.
Just like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he lost a lot of money at that movie, and then he thought he was like to have back his house and his wife and everything like that. So he thought he was going to do a really shit film to earn a lot of money. And who was the most famous girl at that time? It was Christina Lindberg. But he didn't thought I could act, but he thought he could make some big money out of me. I got this part, and I was lucky for his situation. So he made this movie, and it got as I told you before, it got very bad words. People didn't like it. People maybe like it, but the people who write about films, they didn't like it.
It's always those people.
Yeah. But today I think people see this movie in another way, really. So, and I'm happy for that, I must say.
Yeah, your performance is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know why he thought you were a bad actress.
No.
But no, this is
Okay.
You communicate so much without saying a word. There's so much anger and so much sadness and so much dignity.
Okay.
And then you kick so much ass.
Yeah.
So much ass. I was like, yes, go get him. Yes, work.
Okay. Yeah. But it was also funny. When we made these scenes, for example, he never told anyone that we were going to do a scene with me in those coat, the patch, and the weapons. So people sometimes got very, very surprised. There come a girl in the police car and behaved. Actually, I got the police reported once. And it was the scene when I drove the car, and I ran out of the car with a weapon, and I aimed at people who was, walking, Sunday walking, like that. And then they saw me in this coat and the patch and the weapon. And when I aimed at them, I saw suddenly they were running for their lives. They really did. And as I said, I had to explain for the policeman that Vibenius wasn't there. He was away somewhere else. So I had to go up and explain for the police that this was a movie and so on. And he thought what I said. And you know, this police car, for example, the police was chasing this police car all the time because it wasn't allowed to paint an ordinary car as a police car. But he did. He did a lot of things in this movie, and I didn't have any driving lessons, of course.
So you had weapon lessons and karate lessons, but they didn't give you driving lessons.
Yeah. So a lot of things happened during this, and I think you probably wonder about this eye scene, and it was like this, and I wasn't there, but they told me later on, the people, that he knows a doctor at the big hospital in Stockholm, and a girl just has taken her life. And the doctor, this is very criminal, of course. I mean, the doctor allowed his friend, Mr. Ribenius, to go down there, and they took a knife, and they did her eyes, and they took a knife and put her in her eyes.
Wait, that's real?
This is a real
It's real. Yeah,
that is incredible.
And, yeah, it's real. Yeah,
That is the most exploitation thing I've ever heard. That is crazy.
yeah, but she was dead.
I don't know. That's incredible.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch that again.
yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah. But he was incredible. That's the fact, and he still is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how to follow it up. So your character inspired Kill Bill with Tarantino. Do you want to talk a little bit about?
Well, I met Tarantino for a few years ago, and he was in Stockholm introducing Inglourious Bastards, a very nice movie, I think. We met at his hotel. It took 1 hour, and we met at his hotel. And then he came to me and embraced me, and he said, "Well, you're exactly as I thought." And I have taken with me a lot of photos and a lot of those movies I have made. And we sat down and talked. I don't know what I talked about, but he talked all the time. That's the truth. He was very, very kind, and I signed things all the time for him. And I have to be honest, I didn't know who he was, really. And this is the truth. I had seen Pulp Fiction, and I thought it was a good, very good movie. But I didn't know anything about Tarantino. And then he asked me after half an hour, "Christina, don't you think you would like to have me signing something for you?" And I said, "Of course."
Sure.
Yeah. And he did. And his signs is so nice. He signed, "I'm your biggest fan," he said. And also he signed on Thriller, the cover, he signed, "Thanks for the inspiration." And I thought that was great.
It's kind of amazing because one of the biggest directors of genre films in the world was your biggest fan, and you're like,
Yes, but
you know, that it's
Guy.
yeah,
yeah, but today I know, of course.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
You guys were talking last night over dinner something really interesting about the reaction of this movie when it came out, with feminists in particular, which is a really interesting story, I thought.
Yeah, well, I was birthed from somewhere else in the beginning of the 70s, because in Sweden, as in all over the world, I suppose, the feminist was a very strong movement, and they were very aggressive, and those fold-out magazine, for example, that I was on the cover most of the time, was very big. It was very big magazine like this, and they hate those magazines. And they hate a girl with eyelashes and high heels and I didn't look like them. I didn't. But I thought I have a funny life, and I thought they have a boring life. So I was satisfied. But they told me also that this movement has. They had a picture of me. Which they used to play, this darts, on my picture. I don't know if it's true, but it's a funny story. Yeah.
But now I would say the reaction is somewhat different.
Yeah.
I would say the modern reading of this movie is that it is very.
Yeah, it's nice because today, when I travel around and so on. Women come to me and say, well, I'm a feminist and I appreciate what you have done so very much. And that's great. That's great because I am a feminist, but I am not. But in some ways, I think every woman are. Yeah.
Were your eyebrows done that way for yourself? Were you just wearing your eyebrows that way all the time? Or were they done specifically for the movie?
You mean those?
They're so perfect.
Your eyebrows are perfect. Yeah, they were perfect.
She's like, I know.
Yeah.
Next question.
No, they were. You pick them, like that.
They were finely tuned, okay? And then there seems to be throughout the picture an almost jovialness towards the authorities, the police. In your country at that time, were they kind of not respected very much? Like the guy sticking his tongue out when she's in the police, because they don't know that it's her. They would think that it's a real policeman in that view. The guy that doesn't pull over when she's behind them. Was there basically, your Swedish people in general just not very respectful to the police at that time?
At that time? No, I think they were, but I have to be honest to tell you, today Swedish people are not, don't believe in the Swedish police. That's the truth.
Same as here.
Yeah, so...
Another question? No, right here.
Question. How did you end up working in Japan, and relatedly, how was that experience?
In Japan?
Yes.
Well, that was very, very special because I was down at the Cannes Festival. I think it was 71 or something like that. And that year I was, the girl at the beach, you could say. And because of that, it was a lot of pictures spread all over the world. But I had made a movie called Exposed before, and then I had been traveling all over Japan, so I was a little bit well known in Japan at that time. And when I went home, some Japanese guys come to me and said, would you, I was my own manager, I was used to take care of myself, even if I was very young. And they said, Christina, would you like to act in Japan? And I said, yeah, that sounds interesting. But I didn't know that it was the biggest. It was the biggest company in Japan at that time, Toei company. I think they are still going on. I think they are as big today. Yeah. And then I went to Stockholm, and then I went to Tokyo. And signed for 2 movies in Japan. And the movies was done in Kyoto. It was like this. It was like old Hollywood in Kyoto. They built big scenes. They never took out. You were never outdoors. You were only indoors all the time. And then I put Sex and Fury, for example. They put one of the famous actress in that movie. But as the way I was, I didn't know about that at all. It was the same with Tarantino and all those things. And then I also made a movie called Traveling to Japan. And there was a man, he was also very famous at that time. And that was a very, very strange movie. I got raped all the time through the whole movie. So it's a very strange one. I don't know if you have seen it. Has anyone seen that?
I haven't seen that.
You have seen it?
No. I don't know if that's ever been available
Released
over
here.
here. Yeah. I mean, Sex and Fury is.
Yes,
you know,
Sex and is rather well
amazing.
known. Yeah,
Yeah.
But traveling to Japan is something very, very strange and very Japanese. It was great to be in Japan because you know, I am as small as Japanese people. You know, they don't want to, you know, look like this. It's no fun. And I was very, very shy at that time. I'm still a little bit shy, but I was very, very shy. So I was like Japanese people, you know. So I fit in that kind of world. And after I had made those movies, they asked me if I would like to stay. And I can say today, I'm very sorry I didn't stay, because it would have been great to make some more movies in Japan. Because I think they were a little bit, what do you say, they were better. They made marvelous movies at that time, if you compare with other movies. Not Thriller, but other movies. Yeah. But I went home because I got a telegram and they asked me to go home for playing a movie called Anita with Stellan Skarsgård. And that's the way.
That was a great question. Another question right here.
Yeah, in certain versions of Thriller, the character Madeline was renamed Frigga. Do you know why that is?
I don't know really. It's interesting if someone can tell me, because she's her name is Frigga in English, and it's like a Viking name or something like that. I don't know, but I like the Frigga more than Madeleine. I used to if I write Frigga because it's a better name on her, I think.
Another question? Way up in the back.
I've heard that, well, I read, of course, you know how that goes, but I've read that live ammunition was used during the filming of the movie. Can you confirm or deny that?
The question was live ammunition used during the filming of the movie?
What?
Real
Real bullets.
Shooting real bullets?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. What is this movie? Yes, of course. Bananas. Yeah, but it also had some porn scenes in this movie, but I didn't saw them.
No, yeah, we decided not to play that version.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, we went with
okay.
the one without the
Yeah,
scenes. Yeah,
but it made the movies more ugly in
That's
some
true.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
And I can tell you a little funny story. The porn scenes, it was intercut, so it wasn't me, of course. But the couple that made those porn scenes called Romeo and Julia. I think that was fun. and then during the early 70s, they was like they made shows in clubs and so on, you know.
Oh yeah.
And made those kind of things on the scene. Yeah.
We have time for a couple more questions. Any other questions? Right there.
Hi, I first discovered your work when you did a couple of films with Joe Sarno.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any recollection of that? Was he a great director to work with? Was it just?
No.
I guess my question is do you have any particular memories of working with Joe Sarno?
No, not exactly, but I remember him as a very nice director, very, very kind man, very hands-on like that, in a proper way. You have to say today. Yeah, it's important. So that was. I did 2 movies. I did Young Playthings and what's the other?
Swedish Wildcats.
Thank you, Swedish Wildcats. Yeah.
I got time for one more question. Any other questions? Right there in the back.
During the martial arts scenes, it looks like you're actually kind of being instructed in martial arts. I was wondering if you kept up with martial arts after the movie at all?
After the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, some years later I did some, it called wushu, but it's some kind of kung fu that I made for some years. And it was great. But I stopped after a while.
So Christina's going to have some merchandise and things to sign out in the lobby if you're interested right after this. And we can't thank you enough for being here. It's been such an honor to have you here. I mean, on behalf of the Alamo and Austin, the city of Austin, just having you here is just, I never thought this would ever happen. It's incredible. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to